Hi everyone, today we are looking at a question like this. Now, as you can see over here, this is a question that really requires you to really understand the concepts. So throughout the video, I will be using certain analogies to help you to understand. All right, so yeah, let's get started. Now, as you can see over here, it says that a baker sold curry puffs at 80 cents each. Okay, so that's the first sentence. Okay, just a gentle reminder, you want to always break down your sentences, write down whatever you know. You don't want to read the whole thing. You are going to be consumed, by fear if you are going to read the whole question, okay? And there will be nothing that you can write if you are going to read the whole thing or you treat the question as a whole. Okay, break it up, break it up, break it up. That will be, a way that at least guarantees you to get some method marks. You may not get the full mark, let's say if you don't get the answer, but you get some method marks because you have some things written down, right? So just a gentle reminder. Now for curry puffs, sorry, not curry puffs, kaya puffs, then of course that will be 60 cents each. Okay, so I will just write it down over here. Okay, so if you can ask yourself if there's anything that I need to do. All right, over here, 80 cents, 20 cents, nothing much to do. Let's move on to sentence number 3. Okay, sentence number 3 says that Kai bought some curry puffs and Faisal bought some kaya puffs. Okay, so very important. Okay, Kai Ling, so Kai Ling, she or he, whatever, doesn't matter. KL bought some curry puffs. So we want to make sure we are very clear of that. And for Faisal bought some kaya puffs. So we want to write this down as well. Okay. Now, once you are done with this, you want to move on to sentence number 4. Okay, sentence number 4 say Faisal spent $1.20 less than Kylie. Okay, so when I see that Faisal spent 120 less than Kylie, I want to stop here. I know this is a comma, but don't continue on. A lot of students, they think that, oh, every sentence means it has to be the start all the way to the comma or to the full stop. No, 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 that's not true. You can stop at the comma or you can stop at wherever you feel that I can write down something, right? So over here, you can see that $1.20 talks about how much. Okay, so how much means the value. All right, the value basically means, the value of or the price of the puffs. Okay, the price of the puffs. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to write down how much over here. So same thing. Okay, I'm going to put Faisal and then after that I'm going to put KL. Okay, and I'm going to show that Faisal spent $1.20 lesser than Kailing. So Kailing will be way more than Faisal. By how much? $1.20. Okay, so this is how much. Some of you, if you prefer to write value, go ahead. Whatever that helps you to understand, it well. Okay, so once you're done with this, you can move on to the next part. Okay, the next part says, but okay, this is sentence number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but 5 more puffs than Kylie. So the word 5 more over here stands for how many? All right, how many, right? We can call it quantity. How many puffs did they buy? Okay, so we want to write down how many. Now you need to know that there is a difference between how much and how many, right? How much basically means, how much do you pay? And how many basically means, how many do you buy, right? The quantity. Okay, so this is the quantity. Okay, how many puffs did they buy? So we same thing, write down. If I start with F over here for my value or for my how much, I will also start with F over here for my how many. Okay, so F and KL. Okay, we can see that Pfizer's bought 5 more puffs. Okay, so Pfizer bought 5 more puffs. So we're going to show 5 more over here. And for Kylie, it will just be this much. Okay, so this is my 1 unit. Okay, so once you're done with this, right, what you want to do is ask yourself, hey, do I know, do I know what is it that they have purchased? Of course I do, right? Now, for Faisal decided to buy Kaya puffs, as you can see over here. So you might want to write down Kaya over here so that you don't, get confused. And for Kai Ling, it will be curry. Okay, so kaya curry. So in fact, you know what? You can also write down that the kaya is 60 cents and for the curry, it's 80 cents. Okay, so all of these things must be noted down. Okay, all of these things must be noted down. Now, once you're done, you want to look at your model. And as you can see over here, right, what I can do is I can find the value of these 5 kaya puffs. All right, so how do I find the value of 5 kaya puffs? I just have to do 5 times 60 cents. And we know that this is $3. Oh, wow. So if I have the value being $3 over here, what I can do is I can transfer that to my how much model bar and show that, hey, there's actually a $3 here as well. Okay, well, if you want, you can also mirror image, and then there's also another $3. But you do realize that Kailing actually used these $3 to buy curry puffs. Okay, so once you're done with this, okay, what you want to do is you need to ask yourself, okay, now there's one thing I know, all right, I know the total number of Kaya puffs Pfizer bought. I know it's 1 unit plus 5, and for Kailing, she bought 1 unit of curry puffs. So this is a way for me to help students who don't understand what I'm going to do next. Okay, what I do is this: I like to use something simpler to help you all to see. Okay, in lower levels, right, lower primary school, I will tell my students, or in fact, we will do questions like this: hey, if you have 10 and 5 over here, you know that this person has purchased 15 kaya puffs. So I do not have that 10, right? What I have here is just 1 unit. Okay, so what I can do is, okay, I can find the total, okay, by multiplying 60 cents to the whole thing. All right, so I will multiply 60 cents to the 1 unit, and I'll get to 60 cents units. Okay, plus I will multiply 60 cents to the $5, which I've already done so over here. So this is the total value. Let me just say this again. This is the total value. All right, this is the total value. And of course, we know that this is for Pfizer. All right, and let's do the same thing for Kailing. All right, for Kailing, she has purchased some curry puffs, and each curry puff is 80 cents. So we just times 80 cents over here. What do we get over here? We get to 80 cents units. Okay, we get to 80 cents units. Okay, so now as you can see over here, these are the value, right? So if I were to transfer this over to my value model, right, what I can confidently write down is this. Okay, since that is the total amount, we know that the whole thing over here will now then be 60 cents units plus $3. Okay, and we know that the whole thing for Kailing will then be 80 cents unit. So I know for Faisal, he has spent 60 cents unit plus $3, and for Kailing, 80 cents units. So if you have watched my previous video, I encourage students to balance things out, right? As you can see over here, Kailing spent more, right? It's true that Kailing spent more, and this is the more, isn't it? Okay, so I know a lot of students will be like, can I do 80 cents units minus 60 cents plus $3, and that gives me 120? Yes. My concern is again that you make calculation mistakes. So I would prefer if you can balance it. How do you balance it? Let me show it to you. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to balance. Okay, I'm gonna balance F and KL. All right, I'm gonna balance how much that they have spent. Okay, so for F it's 60 cents units plus $3, and for KL it is 80 cents units. Now as you can see over here, right, KL spent more. Okay, so if KL spent more, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the person who has lesser. We always give it to the one who has lesser. Okay, as you can see over here, I've added 120, right? So the moment I've added 120, let me just show it to you. The moment I've added 120, what happens is this, right? Now they are the same, isn't it? Right? So you can see the dotted lines over there. It shows that I've added something. I've added 120, okay? But of course, you don't have to reflect that in your model. If you feel that adding that helps you to see better, by all means, go ahead, okay? So what I can do first is, of course, I can solve whatever that is over here. So over here is 60 cents units, okay, plus $4.20, and that gives me 80 cents unit. And as you can see over here, this is simply just 20 cents units. Okay, so if you're wondering how do I get that, let's imagine this. If I have 6 plus what gives me 8, you will immediately tell me, Teacher Joseph, is 8 minus 6, and that gives me 2, right? So you can use simple, numbers or equations like that to help you to see the process. Okay, you may not do 8 minus 2, 8 minus 6 over here, but what you know for sure is that the process has to be like this arrow, right? It has to be 80 cents units minus 60 cent units, and that gives me 20 cents units. Okay, and we can see that 20 cents units is actually close to how much? $4.20. Okay, so again, as per usual, like in every video, I have to emphasize on one thing, and that is to always find your Mr. Green Man. Okay, so what are we going to do right now? We are going to find Mr. Green Man. Okay, who is Mr. Green Man? Mr. Green Man is 1 unit, correct or not? So 1 unit is simply just $4.20 divided by 20 cents over here. Okay, so when we do 420 divided by 20 cents, we get to 21. Okay, so this means what? 21, what? 20, because you see, the thing is this, right? When you do division, what happens to your dollar sign? You crossed out, right? So in this question, there are only two types of units, isn't it? All right, what are the two types of units? The first one, it's in cents, or of course, yeah, dollars. Okay, or cents. Now, the second one is puffs. All right, puffs. Okay, so now as you can see over here, this has to then be puffs. Why? Because I've canceled out the dollars. Okay, so once you're done with this, Mr. Greenman is out. You can read the question. How much? Oh, very important. When they say how much, that means you have to look at the value multiplied. Did Kai Ling? So Kai Ling, as you can see over here, it's over here 80 cents. Right, so all you need to do is, since I know it's 21 puffs, Kyling bought one curry puff is at 80 cents. So maybe you can write down, okay, if you want to, you can write one curry puffs is 80 cents. Kyling bought 21 curry puffs, and therefore my answer has to be 80 cents times 21, and I'll get to a beautiful answer of $16.80 for Kyling's spending. So if this is something that you can understand, I really encourage you to continue watching the next video that I'm going to show right here. Bye.